captain Angus Monfries gets a crack this week. He's obviously right and good to go.
Yeah, he's right. Ideal time really. We get a half a game of football into him this week and get him ready for round one, which we're really confident on.
I think another one is Brent Renoff. Haven't seen much of him in the pre-season. You happy with the way he's progressed?
Yeah, he's done really well, and we've got to make a decision still yet as to whether we'll play Renufi this week. As far as from an AFL point of view, we're just going to get through today and see how it all looks.
How is Redden looking? How is Redden?
Redden? Yeah, Redden, look, we think he'll be okay. We're just not going to take any risks with him, obviously. If we got to a stage where we would all worry, that won't happen. And our preference is for Redden and Lobie to go around again together.
How are you going to manage Butcher?
Look, a bit like Monfries. We'll give them half a game of football and just give him we thought the important thing for him was to get a little bit of a taste for the level and give himself a chance to be available for round one. This is the only opportunity to play against AFL standards, so we've done that.
Beyond physically, how is he in the terms of the way he's approaching the game?
Oh, look, he's really good. He's really excited. Obviously, he's had a long layoff and he's been back now playing, training and playing footy for a little while. So now it's just a matter of stepping him up to the next level, and what a great opportunity against the Swans.
You showed something against West Coast, some qualities that clearly you admired. How challenging is it for this group to get some consistency and repeat it?
Well, it's the number one thing that we'll talk about this week is to try and make sure we are consistent in our effort. We know last week we showed we can compete against a good AFL side. This week we get another opportunity against the Premiers to show that we can actually back that up.
Schultz being rested, and I think one other player, I forget off the top of my head.
Stewie?
Stewie, yeah, both okay?
Yeah, both okay. Look, they've both got little niggles that you wouldn't no risk. Round one's too important for us, and for both those players we need them available.
It appears as though you really fine-tune, just from the outside, like the last 2 weeks, you've started to ramp up for round one. Is that a fair call? Is this pretty close to what you'll put out for?
Yeah, I made no secret last week that we were putting our best side together and keeping it together for the next couple of weeks to hopefully get ourselves ready for round one. Having said that, with Schultz and Stewart, if there's ever a doubt, we wouldn't take that risk.
Legitimately, how many spots do you reckon still up for grabs in your mind?
Oh, look, I think you'll always find that the back end, the back 4 or 5 spots are still being debated and being talked about, but more often than not, there's 15 or 16 that you pretty much know what's going to be there.
Kane Mitchell gets another crack tomorrow. No Pfeiffer, so Mitchell's won the race to be elevated. Is that right?
No, we haven't made any decisions on that. Mitchell's done really well right through the pre-season, so we've got another chance tomorrow to see what we can get from Mitch and then make some decisions. If we need to make the elevation, we can do it then.
Ken, one of the things that's been a standout in Port Adelaide Sydney games is the Swans bash up Port Adelaide inside on the midfield, particularly at the stoppages. How much of a test is it whether your guys are physically and mentally, advanced over this pre-season?
Oh, look, it's clearly a test. I mean, they probably bash up most sides, I reckon, with their midfield. They're really strong-bodied midfielders with Kennedy and O'Keefe and Jack and McVeigh. There's a number of them that go. Hanbury, we haven't even mentioned him, so there's a number of them that certainly play through there. Great test for us, but last week we had a great test against West Coast. This competition's tough. Every week there's a test, I reckon, and it's another one for the boys to see how they go.
I accept the tribute of Sydney, but it's been a failing of Port in recent times. The question is, how much do you think you've advanced the players to not have that happen to them again?
Well, from my point of view, I haven't seen them fail in that area. I reckon they've, right through the pre-season, they've welcomed those contests. I expect them to welcome it again this weekend.
Obviously, the NAB Cup and these trial games are all about building towards round one, but psychologically speaking, knocking off West Coast, coming up against reigning premiers, what do you stand to gain psychologically from this competition?
I think not so much psychologically, but confidence in our own ability to play is important for us going into round one, like it is with every side. There's never a perfect one, though, for the NAB Cup because there's some sides that will do it slightly different. For us at the moment, getting consistency about what we do and how we go about things. I said last week at the end of the game, it was easy to say probably, that the scoreboard didn't probably matter too much, whether we ended up in front, which was a great thing, but it was more about the whole game, and I thought overall we were pretty solid.
So it's all internal. I mean, there's nothing to gain externally or how other teams perceive you come, the regular season?
No, we're about what we can control, and that's ourselves, I think, and importantly, it's got to be about what we do well.
Robbie Gray plays Saturday night.
Yes.
Where's he placed in terms of a comeback program?
Well, Robbie will play his first hit out on Saturday night for a half, and then he'll play the following week hopefully for a bit longer, and from there it'll be a progression from Robbie. But again, Robbie's still in that rehab phase where we're just getting him ready, and we're giving him the best chance to be available for AFL football when his knee's ready to go, and that's the important thing. And look, it's not far away. It's definitely not going to be far away for Robbie because he's moved really well now for 7 weeks on the training track. So it's not something that we're worried about. It's more just ticking off the boxes to make sure that Robbie now starts to build to competitive football.
Is there a comeback date or is that open-ended?
Yeah, no, it's open-ended. I'd love it nothing better to be as soon as it possibly can, but that's all going to, we'll see a bit of a glimpse of that on Saturday night, I reckon, to see how far away that might be.
And Dom playing a SNFL trial as well?
No, Dom's not. No, Dom's not playing. He'll play next week. In the break, we'll get, we've got a number of boys that have had interruptions, and Dom's one of those, as would Brett Ebert next week. So we've got, come round one, we'll have the squad in really good shape.
How ready do you think you are for the premiership season?
We're really ready. We're ready to play. It's just a matter of now what those tests throw up to us. There's some of the unknowns a little bit at the moment, is how we're going to handle some of those tests when they come. But right now, we're ready to play.
Your ruck system, are you confident you can run 2 through the year?
I'd like to think we can, but week-to-week challenges always provide different opportunities, and that's what will happen with us. If we were playing, 2 dominant ruckmen, big blokes from the opposition, we would look to play 2 rucks. If we're not, we might be a bit more flexible.
It's 2 weeks away, but the bookies have you outsiders against Melbourne. How do you feel about that?
Well, I'm not sure. That's their choice. That's not mine. And we have our own belief about what we've got to do this week, and then we'll worry about the next one after that, and that'll be round 1.
Is that an indication of how much you've got to work back your respect?
Oh, well, rightly so. We've got to earn our respect back, and that'll come from performance.